Welcome back to Farm What's the Boring, where life is anything but boring. Well, it's going to be really hot today, probably in the 80s, and tomorrow I think it's supposed to be mid-90s. Pretty good for Oregon. So today I'm going to cut some strips out of these flitches that I have left over. And on this one here, what I've done is I've gone ahead and set my log stop up at 6 inches. So I usually try to stick at 6 inches or below. That way I know, I'll show you here in a second. That way I know I'm not going to hit it with this sawmill. But I also use my Gustaf-Guard in here. Use my Gustaf-Guard in here. This is really convenient because this will keep the saw blade from hitting the log stop if in fact I set the blade lower than this. Then I go ahead and set up my log dogs. Make sure that they're all below 6 inches. And then here's where the trick is. Right here I have the measurements off of the bunk of what the saw blade is. So right there I've got this painted orange, and that sort of warns me that if I'm going below 6 and I've got those set at 6, I got to start thinking about being careful. So if I keep those log stops at 6 or lower, then this sort of will help me out. But the Gustaf-Guards will always be the final solution, so they will keep me from hitting the log stop no matter how high it is. Today I made a post on the Woodland Mills Facebook group about trying to figure out what snug is. It says right there, snug. So you can do foot-pounds or 2.5 to 3 full turns from snug. Now, my understanding is that Woodland Mills does not recommend using torque wrench anymore. And that has to do with, I think, the fact that there's so many different torque wrenches. I've tried, I think, 3 or 4 different torque wrenches, and they all come up with different readings, and I can never make any sense of it. So I've always done this system. But I made a post this morning, and people keep coming back and saying, oh, just use the torque wrench. Just use the torque wrench. And, you know, well, when you get some experience from hard knocks, you know, you'll know how to do it. And I'm saying, look, man, I've been working on this mill for a while, and I've worked on other mills. So I'm not really sure. I'm short on experience. And this has always worked for me. I've always gone to snug, and 2.5 turns. I usually go 2.5 turns past snug, and I've never had a problem with the blade. So the question comes down is, what is snug? And a lot of people have been asking, what is snug? So I made a post and showed how I figure snug. I mean, you know, you can say, okay, well, where is snug? You know, is that snug? You know, is that snug? Is that snug? I don't know what snug is. So what I do is that I put 2 fingers over here and a thumb here, and I'll turn this until it's not easy to turn anymore. So right there, I call that snug. And that ends up being about 1/8 of an inch out here. So that's what I call snug. So from that point on, I'm going to go, I just count them half turns. So I go 5 half turns, and that's what gives me tension that works for me. So there's 1 half turn, 2 half turns, 3 half turns, 4 half turns, 5 half turns. And now you'll see right there that that's almost flush. Could probably be a little bit more maybe, but I'm going to stick with 5 half turns. And we'll see how that works. But otherwise, all the guys making comments about, oh, you should be using a torque wrench, well, that's fine. I mean, if people want to use torque wrenches, that's great. Woodland Mills apparently is not recommending that anymore. So the big question comes down to, I can count turns, but the big question comes, what is snug? And my solution is 2 fingers here, thumb here, turn it until It's got good resistance and you really can't turn it much more. And I call that snug. So we'll see how that works. Now I'm going to go to 8 inches. That'll give me 8 inches in some of it. Some of it's going to be less than that. But I'm going to just go with 8 inches. So remember, my log stops are set at 6. Which is usually about as high as I'll raise them, 6. So if I go 8, I'll miss those. I do have a DRO, but the battery's dead and I keep forgetting to bring new batteries down, so I'm just going off my measurements on the side here. Probably don't need the dust mask. This isn't really kicking up a whole lot of dust, but yeah, it's about an 8 incher. Probably could cut another inch off, but it's fine the way it is. Okay, what did I do to the camera? Obviously knocked it off somewhere. Yep, knocked it off. Need to be more careful, I guess. Okay, so this is not the greatest. It's got some mold and stuff, but I think there's still some good wood in there. It's going to make me raise that thing up quite a bit to get it back down there. So I think what I will do is lay it down. Hopefully I can get by. I need to move it one way or the other in order to get 2 log clamps on it. So I think when we move it that way, what I'll do is I'll move this down. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in 10. And I'll go ahead and put this in not that high. I'll set this one up to this. Yeah, that's pretty close. There's a cup in it, so. I'm going to go 21. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them stacked on here. I think I'll just go ahead and cut them. So I'm starting to get a few waves in here, but this is, I'm cutting oversized stuff, so it's 6 inches, so I can always run it through a table saw and clean it up. So I'm not going to change the blade yet, but once I'm done with this, I'll probably put a new blade on. Well, depending on one of those, I might cut splitches off of that and then put a new blade on. So now, what I'll do is I'll turn these over. Set this down. What do we have here? 10. I think I'll cut an 8 inch out of that. So we'll set these down to 6. Hopefully we can clear that down there. Those off already. Those hurt my ears. Well, that just about does it for me. Thanks for coming along today on our journey with a farm west of Boring on a hot day, summer day, June. And we just cut up some old stuff sitting around here. It's got some mold and stuff on it, but that's okay. We're just going to use it for framing. We'll brush all that off. And we're getting ready to build a new shed up behind the garage. So thanks for coming along. Appreciate it. Hit the like button, the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to our channel. That would really be helpful for us. and hit the notifications bell and you'll get notified each time we put a video out. Thanks a lot for coming along.